Hey, it's Angry Weeb, and we're back. And today we're going to discuss hacks and how the Versus Battle Wiki and a lot of other YouTube scalers not incorporate hacks into their tiering of characters. Most scalers believe hacks are unbeatable moves, but that is not entirely true. Hacks are usually techniques that ignore durability. The reason a character could be extremely powerful is simply hacks, but hacks are not all powerful techniques that allow a character to win in every matchup as far as a scaling debate. For example, many Goku fans love in scaling debates to bring up the Mafuba technique. A technique that transports a person to a bottle and traps them in the bottle, basically inside of the actual bottle. Many scalers fall back on this technique to win many arguments, or at least try to win arguments. Usually veteran scalers can kind of see through this by just having some type of knowledge of the Mafuba hacks technique. But forget, a lot of these people who use, the Mafuba technique to win power scaling battles forget to mention the conditions, or they choose to not mention the conditions. As do all hacks techniques, because all hacks techniques have conditions. The conditions of the Mafuba, for it to be executed successfully, it has to be met with the user of the person who is using the evil containment wave. He has to be stronger than the target. So whoever is using the Mafuba and the evil containment wave, they must be stronger than the target. If the target is of equal level of strength or higher, the user of the Mafuba will or possibly die. This is why, if you look at Dragon Ball Super, let's analyze this for a minute. You'll see that Trunks powers up. He powers all the way up to his most powerful form that we've seen Trunks. You see Trunks powers up to his most powerful form. Now, the reason Trunks powers up to his most powerful form, power scalers, is because he wants to be as close to Zamasu's level or stronger when he uses this technique. Because he understands that if he uses this technique, he has the possibility of dying if he stays in any weaker of a form. And this is what I'm saying with power scalers. A lot of power scalers are not breaking down the actual basically the highlights. You look at a basketball game and you're breaking down the highlights of a player. You're breaking down that. A lot of scalers, YouTube scalers, are not doing this. This is why he powers up to maximum level, basically pseudo blue Super Saiyan form. When we look at hacks, there are many hacks that, in my opinion, are either equal to the Mafuba or better, based on the conditions. For example, another hacks would be Moroku's wind tunnel from Inuyasha, and this is for the OG anime and manga, watchers. That technique defied any type of durability. I'm talking about he was sucking up anything. To defend that technique, Naraku was so afraid of that technique, he resorted to poison insects to poison Moroku when he sucked him into his wind tunnel. The bug still went into his wind tunnel, but, Moroku wind tunnel was essentially the most powerful, if not the second or third most powerful technique in the show. Of course, he still had conditions, and those conditions need to be looked at. First, Moroku always ran the risk of his wind tunnel swallow him up eventually, just like it did his father. As many people who actually watched Inuyasha understand that Moroku had a flashback in where he witnessed his father being sucked by the wind tunnel, because the wind tunnel is essentially a curse that continues to become larger. It continues to become larger, and as it continues to become larger, it swallows up the user. The other issue is Moroku used up a lot of stamina to use this technique. He used up a lot of stamina. You always see him grimace when he eventually sucked up the demon or whatever he was trying to absorb or put into another dimension. And by the way, he's sucking these demons up and he's putting them into another dimension. So that wind tunnel is extremely powerful. It also has some spatial properties, as far as hacks. I know for a fact that it is more powerful than the Mafuba. You don't even have to, I could dissect it, but I can already tell you that it more than likely would defeat the Mafuba. I can run through at least 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I can run through 10 simulations, and 9 out of 10, I'm sure the wind tunnel would beat the Mafuba. So this is another, and the wind tunnel is not even one of the higher level of hacks. It is a mid to kind of high level hacks for pillar characters. When we look at the hacks pillar, it would be in more of the mid tier to high tier characters who would have kind of a Mafuba or a wind tunnel, a better technique. But techniques such as these defy durability. Just like Julius Novachrono, he's a character with a very strong hacks capability. He also possesses infinite speed. I still believe his hacks is his strongest pillar. Even with his speed, his hacks is his strongest pillar. And I'm going to say this. His aging magic defies durability. For example, hacks techniques defy those limitations. Hacks techniques are the strongest techniques in power scaling, but can easily be misrepresented by amateurs and new power scalers. One hacks is not stronger than the other, as they all defy durability. For a hacks to be even considered a hack, so first a power scaler has to know what the definition of a hacks. First, a hacks is a move that defies durability. Okay, that's the first thing. Hacks have no levels. They just have conditions, and those conditions have to be matched up to other conditions of other characters' hacks abilities. And that is how you scale other characters' hacks pillars, or their hacks abilities. Also, most veteran scalers understand that just because a character has powerful hacks techniques, that said character does not automatically win a versus battle debate. And a lot of people, even the versus battle wiki, need to recognize this. The versus battle wiki need to recognize this. A lot of YouTube power scalers need to recognize this. For example, character A can make black holes appear and disappear at will. Character B has physical strength, the physical strength to cut space itself. Hence, he can cut through black holes. Even though character A possesses a technique that ignores durability, he still could lose to character B according to how they rank in the other pillars, of course. Understanding this is key to understanding hacks and advanced power scaling. Another great example would be Julius Novachrono. Julius Novachrono is so powerful, he can age anything using his magical power. I really can't see too many characters beating Julius Novachrono. Now there are certain people who I wonder could they beat him in certain other verses, such as the Hulk, as those techniques will have little effect on them, as he is immortal and he does not age, or he ages but he does not die. So would he just continue to age? And you have to. These type of battles are higher level thinking. Understanding other characters' highest pillars and going through scenarios in your head based on the conditions and effects of the techniques will tell you guys whether a character wins the battle with hacks. And even if that character does, is it enough to win the versus battle in its entirety? Many times scalers will state the hacks and not understand how conditions for the hacks work. Another powerful hacks user, just like Julius Novachrono, is Yacht from Bleach. Yacht is the main antagonist, in fact, in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, and he also is more likely the biggest antagonist of the new Bleach anime. Yacht is a Quincy, basically the king of the Quincy's, but he is also the son of the Soul King, implying he is a deity himself, or he has some type of god blood in him. Yacht has an array of Quincy combative moves that make him devastating even with those, But the power that pushes his Hax pillar to crazy heights is his almighty power, omniprecognition. With this technique, Yacht is capable of seeing in the present to the distant future. But not only can he see the different possible futures and outcomes, he can change them at will. Yacht can even rewrite futures in which he has died. It is this particular power that makes Yacht one of the strongest beings in manga and anime. Same with Julius Novachrono. The next heavy hitter that we have is a new kid on the block, and his name is Goju Satoru, guys. I'm sure some of you have heard of him. And Goju is one of the main protagonists of the Jujutsu Kaisen series. Gojo, also just like the others characters, has considerable combative skills capable of rivaling, if not surpassing, the latter two. But just like Yacht and Julius, Gojo has a technique based from his domain expansion technique called the Unlimited Void. It basically creates a different dimension that causes victims to receive all kinds of stimuli and information endlessly, basically slowing their thought process and motor skills. Essentially, he is overloading your brain. He's overloading your senses. I plan on doing a video regarding his techniques when further information is available. But it is my opinion that these three characters are some of the most powerful characters in fiction. And they are in a select group of manga characters that are capable of matching up with characters of DC, Marvel, and other verses. While many Goku fans love to mention the Mafuba as being an unbeatable Hax, it only puts Goku in the mid to low tier Hax characters. As far as mid to low, I would say a mid to low Hax pillar character in terms of Hax, if we were to put him in the Hax pillar. I can truly say that Goku would not be any of these three characters alone. He would need much assistance, and a fusion with Vegeta would just be the start. Stay tuned for my next video. Please hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the comment section, and please tell me some other characters from other verses of fiction that have high Hax capabilities that you feel would be a high character on the Hax pillar, or that you feel has a high Hax ability. This is Angry Weeb, and I'm out. I appreciate you guys.